and approved by the party. And by the way, that is how we developed policy leading up to 1995. Some of you will remember the Common Sense Revolution, which swept a majority government into Ontario and helped us turn this province around and re-establish Ontario as an economic powerhouse. That didn't happen by accident. Those policies were developed by people, ordinary people, over a period of 4 years. And when I was knocking on the door as a candidate in 1995, the reason that people welcomed our policy at that time was because they recognized themselves in that policy. They knew that these were practical solutions to the challenges we were facing at that time. I, as leader of our party, want to re-energize that policy process, because you see what happens when we develop policy that way. When you open the campaign document, there are no surprises. No surprises. Everybody in the party will know what is in that campaign. And as a result of that, we will not have any disappointments. And unfortunately, in the last election, not only were many party members surprised by some of the things that were in our policy document, many Ontarians, most Ontarians rejected what was in that policy document. Under my leadership, that will not happen. Finally, I want to share with you that during that 20 years, from the time that I first ran for public office until 1995, when I won election, 20 years, I developed a business and got business experience that I believe is critical to being able to actually perform the job of leadership. You see, I'm glad I didn't win in 1975. I'm glad I didn't win in 1977. I was a 25-year-old young man with a lot of passion, a lot of ambition, but no experience. And had I been elected at that age, I know that I would not have been able to provide the kind of leadership that I have been able to provide since being elected in 1995. Because without that 25 years of business experience in the real world, it would have been impossible for me to make the kind of decisions that I have been called on to make, whether as a cabinet minister, as an MPP, as an individual who has responsibility to provide leadership to the people in my community. That 25 years of business experience, of building a business from the ground up, meeting a payroll, dealing with the challenges of economic downturn, and being able to celebrate the success of that business as well. All of that experience serves me well. And by the way, it serves me uniquely. I am running against 3 other people in this race. Very good people. They're friends of mine. They all have great qualities that they bring to the race. I respect them all. But none of them have the experience that I have, either in business for 25 years or in the party for 35 years. And I believe that that is experience that not only will serve me well in doing the job, but will serve our party and will serve our province well, because we need that depth of experience, especially during difficult economic times. And so I say to you that I am willing to do the job of leader, not only of our party, but of this province. And I submit to you that I am capable of doing that job. And I look forward to doing that. One final word that I want to leave with you. What I have learned in the 14 years that I've been in government is that government today does not work the way it should work. We have lost a great deal of the energy of democracy. And the reason for that is that all too often when someone comes with passion to the The minute they walk through that door, they are sapped of that energy because of how political parties do business today. I want to take the shackles off of the arms of MPPs. I want to free them up so that they actually can be your representative. Because what is happening today is that MPPs and cabinet ministers are told what to think and how to think. They are told what to say. They're told how to vote. Under my leadership, there will be no such thing as a coerced vote in the legislature. I want to empower members of the legislature. Every single vote in the legislature under my leadership will be a free vote. And what I want to do is ensure that the people of this province, once again, know when they look at the legislature of Ontario that their representative is doing what that representative believes is the right thing to do. It's following his or her conscience, is representing his or her constituents on matters of importance to them. And you say, well, how can you do that? Even on budget bills, you're saying you want to allow a free vote, and I say yes. And the reason for that is, if I, as Premier, cannot get a bill passed, there's something wrong with the bill. And we change the bill to ensure that it reflects the will of the legislators sitting in that place. It's called getting democracy right. It's called allowing democracy to work. That's my commitment, and I believe that people of all political parties will respond to that. Wrap up my comments with this. As leader of our party, I believe that we, when we articulate what we believe and stand for, will attract people to our party who have never, ever considered the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party as a possible home for them. And I want our party to reflect the Ontario of 2009. And the Ontario of 2009 reflects communities such as gathered here tonight. And whether it's the Russian community, whether it's the Jewish community of either Toronto or Windsor or Ottawa, whether it is the Muslim community, whether it is the Filipino community, my friends, Ontario of 2009 is truly an amazing place. We are the envy of the world in terms of our freedom of worship and assembly and gathering. Our party must reflect that. I believe that I have the ability to ensure that we communicate effectively who we are and to allow people to join hands with us to go into the next election together, and that together we will win that election and make Ontario once again not only prosperous, but make Ontario the place where people know that it is a land of opportunity and we can achieve all that we want to be and all that we want for ourselves.